Hey YouTube, I just want to do a quick video. I've been really ill and been on bed rest and stuff like that, but I thought it'd be cool to do a video because I recently have been marathoning some different movies because I've just had to rest and things like that. And I did the Resident Evil films, which I still need to get to the theater to see the new one. And it's really fun to watch movies back to back, especially in sequence. And I was trying to watch things that maybe necessarily I hadn't watched back to back to back, and so I decided to do the Poltergeist films, which this is the first film here. I've got several editions. I'm a huge fan of the Poltergeist franchise. A lot of nostalgia there too. Growing up, I love Steven Spielberg. He wrote the first one and some say directed the first one. Toby Hooper's credited, but it sounds like there's a lot of controversy there. But I'm just a big fan in general. So I thought I'd kind of talk about each film since I watched all of them. Started on Sunday night and finished up Monday, and watched all three films, including the remake, which makes a fourth film. So, but real quick, I'll show you some of my additions that I've kept to. I still have my original Snapper case release, and just I love this release. I have a fondness for Snapper cases, but it's got the artwork inside there, and all has that iconic image on the front, and then there's the back of it as well. And obviously, I watched this one first, the first film, and then this is a newer edition. I just loved the artwork on that. It's just got, I believe, the regular artwork, yeah, on the inside there. But really cool artwork on that edition, on the slipcover there. And then I've got the original Blu-ray release that I got, which actually has some issues. There's a few little audio issues and some things in that, but they came out with a better release, which was the Digibook right here, and I love Digibooks. You can see that. And there's the back. Love that artwork. And yeah, so Digibook's got some really cool art. There's a picture of Frank Marshall and Steven Spielberg. So yeah, so the first film, huge fan. Can't say enough about it. I don't think it's overly scary. It's more like an action adventure film to me. I know it has horror elements, of course, with it being a poltergeist and all, but terrorizing this family, if you've never seen Poltergeist, you've got to watch it. Does have some creepy elements. Creepy clown obviously is in it, the tree that eats the kid, and the old school TV set and how it cuts off at night, with the national anthem and goes to the fuzzy white screen. And it kind of dates me, but I remember that. I grew up obviously in the age of that. I was born in 77. I'm 39 years old, so we had the console TV sets like that one on the front when I was growing up. And yeah, I remember seeing this when I was young, and it really frightening me. And now that I watched it, I just really enjoy it. The acting is great. The score in this by Jerry Goldsmith is great. Just fantastic movie. Can't say enough stuff about it. I never get tired of watching it. It's one of those ones that I can just throw on and watch all the time. But really love the original Poltergeist film. Craig T. Nelson, Jo Beth Williams were great. And rest in peace, the girl who plays Carol Ann did a great job too. And you can't beat Zelda Rubinstein either. So the old lady. And then the second one here, which I'm really excited because Scream Factory released this amazing edition of it. You can see that amazing artwork there. There's the back of it. There's a lot of special features, which I'm going to talk about on this one in a second. But then it's got the original poster artwork, which I like as well. So really love this film. It's a lot different. It's called The Other Side, and it deals a lot with more of the Indian folklore and stuff like that. So they've moved into a new home, and obviously they still are having problems and issues, and they find out that this has followed them, and it's after Carol Ann and all of that. And one really cool thing about this, the villain, his name is Kane, and he's this guy that you see here with the hat. The actor that plays him, I forget the guy's name. Oh man, I think maybe it's Will Sampson. He is fantastic, like so creepy, and I believe he died like either right after the film was wrapped or something like that. But yeah, he is a fantastic actor in this film. I really enjoyed him. Very creepy guy, and does a great job. He's not in as many scenes as you think he would be in, but the scenes he's in, he just steals the show. Like the exchange between him and Craig T. Nelson at the door. I won't say anything if you haven't seen it, but it's just fantastic. Awesome, awesome stuff. And also, this movie just has, like I said, deals with like American Indian type stuff and folklore. And it's got this other really cool guy in it who play, and maybe Will Sampson is that guy. I'm sorry, I forget the bad guy's name. But yeah, he plays this. I think his name was Will Sampson, the actor. But he plays this Indian who's helping them out, and Zelda Rubinstein is in it as well. And she reprises her role and comes back, and she's kind of sent him to watch over the family, stuff like that. There's some crazy scenes in it, like there's a lot more creature effects and things like that. Like there's this vomit monster in this one part that's really really cool, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into as well. Really liked this film and where it goes, and it shows the other world that they go to at the end, trying to save or get back their family and all that stuff. And I never knew this, but H.R. Giger, who I'm a huge fan of, his artwork. If you don't know who he is or aren't familiar with him, he is he is a famous artist from Switzerland, I believe, and he did a lot of the concept art for the original Alien. He designed the xenomorph creature and all that stuff, and a lot of the sets and all the artwork from the Alien films. He was involved in all that, and that's all his work. That's the kind of work he does, and it's really really cool. And what's awesome about this is he did the creature concept art and design for this film, and I had no idea he worked on it. And you can see all the special features there on the back of the Scream Factory release, and one of them is I'm trying to see what the name of it is. Bear with me here. Yeah, a look at the contributions of artist H.R. Giger, featuring rare photos and illustrations, and an interview with friend and agent Les Brauny, because he is deceased. He passed away a few years ago, and his agent talks a lot about his work, and they show pictures of him from being on the set and how he wasn't happy with some of the stuff because he designed like the vomit monster and all this, and like the creature that Kane turns into at the end. But they did use a lot of his artwork when they did their sculptures and all that. But that was a really cool tidbit that I never knew that I really liked, and really great movie. Like I said, I like all of these films. They're all really good, and they're a lot of fun to watch. And it was good revisiting this one, especially after watching the first one. And I also have the original Blu-ray release that came out a while back, just because I really like the artwork there on the front and the back as well. So that can be a watch copy for me. Next up is Poltergeist 3, and also Scream Factory release. And there's the artwork there. Again, amazing. Another actor playing Kane in this one, which it doesn't really matter because it could be the creature taking, or this dark entity taking other forms and things like that. But he does look similar. And this one has a lot of special features as well. Not as many as the second one, but this one's interesting because sorry, I'll show you the poster artwork there. Really cool. And it has to do with a high-rise building. As you can see, I really liked the setting in this one, and it's a different take on it because Carol Ann, they don't really tell you why, but her parents have sent her to stay. It's kind of like for a few months, not indefinitely, but a few months with her aunt, and her husband, who Tom Skerritt plays the husband of the aunt, is Nancy Allen, who will also be she'll always be Officer Lewis from RoboCop to me. So, but yeah, they're in it, and a young Lara Flynn Boyle is in it as well. Which, what happened to that actress? I've seen crazy photos and stuff of her online, but I never see Lara Flynn Boyle in anything anymore. And she was pretty big for a while, like big. I mean, big actress in a lot of stuff. I remember in Men in Black 2, and she was on that show, The Practice. Anyway, I digress, but. She's in this, and she plays kind of the teenage daughter, but she goes and Tom Skerritt is the architect for this building that they live in, and it's really cool because it's this high-rise building that's like all inclusive. Like it has their apartments in it. It has like a mall, kind of like a Galleria style mall inside. Has an art gallery inside where Nancy Allen works, and yeah, everything's just right there. You don't even really have to leave the building. And they're talking about all these things are going wrong in the building, like glass is cracking, and it's really cold and it's warm outside. It's in Chicago and they can't figure out what's going on. But long story short, this Carol Ann is working with a psychologist who kind of unlocks this thing in her again. So it's really his fault that this thing starts to terrorize her and her aunt and uncle, once again. And it's really cool because I like the setting so much in this high rise building that they're trying to avoid and get away from this the whole time. There's a lot of use with mirrors in this film that I liked a lot, and just some really cool scenes, and a lot of cool creature effects and stuff like that. And yeah, I really like this film too. Like I said, I'm a fan of all three of these movies, but if you haven't seen it, check out Poltergeist 3 and definitely pick up the Scream Factory release. And this one had a lot of good. I watched most of these, the special features, and this one had a lot of good stuff too. Had interviews with screenwriter, reflections like and making of featurette, things like that. Nancy Allen, who looks almost the same, she's aged really well, and she has an interview on there as well. And then this is my, you could say, the other Blu-ray release or watch copy, like the artwork on there as well. That part with the puddle in the movie is really cool. It's like a puddle in the floor, and yeah, really cool stuff. So yeah, Poltergeist 3, really, really good. And the last one I watched here was the remake. And what's funny about this is I saw this when it first came out, and I didn't get to catch it in the theater, but I got the DVD or Blu-ray, I mean, shortly after it came out. And I don't know. I was just like, why are they remaking this? I don't know, but I'm a big fan of Sam Rockwell, so I was like, I'll give it a chance. I like Poltergeist so much. Well, when I watched it, I don't know what it was, but I did not like this movie at all. So it is sat, for a year, because I think it came out around Halloween last year, in 2016, but sat and sat and sat. And this is the extended cut, and I did watch it initially. Well, since I was watching these movies, I was going to finish up with this, and I gave it another watch. And what's cool about it is directed by Gil Kennan, as I believe his name, and he directed Monster House, which I'm a big fan of that film. And on the second viewing of this, I actually liked it a lot more. And I know it's like that a lot of times with a lot of movies. So if you've seen something once, maybe you're having a bad day or tired or just went into it with the wrong mindset, but this time I actually really enjoyed it for what it is. It's a lot different than the original Poltergeist, but I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked it a lot, and I would watch this again. I mean, it's not a perfect movie, but I did like it way more the second time, so I'll definitely have to check it out again. I like the actors that are in it. The guy who kind of takes the Zelda Rubinstein part, like the little, is I forget, Jared Harris, I believe is his name. I want to say. Yes, Jared Harris. He's a great actor, and I liked his role in this. He plays, and that was one cool thing. They really updated as far as technology. Like they use a drone to go inside, when they pass the rope through to look at the, what it looks like inside and all of that. And it was really cool because you get to see the inside of like the whole, it's kind of like an Insidious, the where the people go, whatever that's called or whatever, but kind of that in between place where the spirits are trapped, and you get to see that from the eyes of this drone. I thought that was really interesting. So there's some parts like that where they use modern technology to kind of update things, and they do change it around enough to where it's a lot different, so you're not watching the exact same thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts on these movies. I hope you really liked this video, and if you haven't watched Poltergeist in a while, I encourage you to check them out. And I'm a fan of all the films, and love to hear your thoughts on these movies. Which one is your favorite? My favorite's definitely the first film, the original Poltergeist, but I do like all of them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Love to hear your comments below, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, let me know what your guys' favorite Poltergeist movie is, and some of the additions that you have as well. Peace out.